Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing another speed build for another part of building the world, Oasis Springs. This one took me a while. know I wanted this lot to be a lounge type lot, and because as the title is, let's build the springs, I kind of want to turn Oasis Springs into Palm Springs, California, in terms of that kind of vibe and aesthetic. So I decided a type of lounge that would fit would be a drag brunch lounge. So honestly, I've never been to one, but there is a Thai restaurant I've been to, and across the street from it was a drag brunch lounge. It's called Oscars. Never been to one before, but I recently saw a video with Austin shows a video or his channel with Hassan. They went to a what was it? The Abbey in West Hollywood, and I got really inspired by that. So it's not exactly the layout, because I just looked at a reference image of the exterior of the build, and from there I created my own design. And honestly, I saw that video at the perfect time because I had no idea what to do for this build, and as the surrounding one, because the shopping plaza that I did a lot over is done in a Spanish, not colonial, convent, I guess, style. And on the restaurant behind it here is very modern. So I was wanting a good blend between the two. But one thing I did, as you see the roof there, I did not end up keeping that. Luckily, I stick with the brown I had before. But I was really trying to make it work with those windows. These windows from maybe business and hobbies back. Pretty sure. So I definitely wanted to use those, but I couldn't get, I don't know, just couldn't blend it as well as I had wanted to. So I ended up getting rid of those. I believe I changed it to the horse ranch pack windows. I feel like this works better with the woods and, leaning into that Spanish style. Yet I did try to make it feel a bit more modern, and I feel that honestly the black rails did that, helped add that, but the railing's not really that modern either. But added lots of greenery on the outside. I feel like that helped bring more vibrancy, I guess, to it. Also, these windows here, I was really trying to work on a layout, but it just looked odd no matter what I did. So I ended up just doing spotlights, and I did rainbow spotlights that hit the wall that on the second floor that I couldn't find out how to place the windows. And that's the thing, I was really struggling with this, just because I've never been to a drag lounge, and it's nothing too different, like style wise. Like, it's just, there isn't, what should I say? Well, sometimes there is a stage, and I didn't do a stage. Now, thinking about it, I didn't want to do it, but I couldn't find the spacing to put one, so I ended up just doing a simple piano and mic. That's probably not as, but this platform here, I'm thinking they can use it as a stage. That was my way to make it multi-purpose, I guess. And yeah, another thing, I'm trying to remember what I did. Oh, is it not railing, but the, not wood trim either, but instead of using the wall trim, I used that black iron railing that you see on the sides, and I really like that detail. I couldn't do the wall trim because it does show that white of the wall behind the black railing, obviously because it's clear, or not clear, but isn't fully I guess it is clear in some way. But if I did a wall trim, it would just go and cover up the railing. So I just let it be, and it wasn't too bothersome for me. I mean, you can barely see it, so And one thing here with the stone, I was thinking of adding stone elements into the interior, but I felt that that would make it feel. Oh, I had like a little lisp there. I sound like Sid the Sloth, but I feel you guys the mic picked it up. But yeah, so I wanted to hopefully come across. That's the thing. It's not really that modern feel, but it definitely feels a bit new, if that makes sense. And here I am adding some greenery to the, I was say propaganda, to the, what is it called? It starts with the P as well. Not pergola, porch, I guess you can call it. And a bunch of greenery to it there, just because I wanted to bring, more color and stuff. I mean, that's pretty common, I feel. In terms of like lounges, have it nice or not nice, but I mean, obviously nice, but what is the word looking for? I don't know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I just wanted it to bring that, color in as best and not make it so. I mean, that's the whole point with decorating and cluttering up. It really does help your build because you're obviously not going to keep it as a shell of a place. But yeah, I think these lights here were the right choice to go. As you saw the little collection I had, I thought that this helps bring in more of that Spanish feel. Even though I did say I don't want to go lean too much into it, I just felt that it was a good choice, especially considering the Spanish style right next door. And I have, that to blend in with it. And I believe I also added some arches in the wall decor. Don't exactly know what they're called, to add a little something. I also want to add some plaques because I know as I was referencing the Abbey, they have their establishment plaques. And one thing I want to say about the signage, I was really struggling to pick up or find a perfect sign. I did want something because we are very limited. Oh, these are the arches I was talking about earlier. But one thing we are limited, I feel, is signage. I should probably download from the gallery and do paintings because or posters that people have made, just because I feel that could be something. Because obviously you can create your own signs and stuff. Oh, one thing I want to say about this wall that I'm doing, I wanted to add these. Well, I ended up doing those flowers in the second row from the left. Well, there's only a few rows, but I ended up taking out the middle one and doing the portrait of the peacock. I don't know why, for some reason. I placed down, and I didn't show this during the speed build, but off camera you will see. For some reason, I like that peacock statue, that blue and yellow one. And I don't know why, it felt like it worked with the colors. And I don't know, I just liked it and I kept it. It's a little bit weird. I was going to call this lounge the Blue Crown, but I'm not sure what I'm going to decide yet. You'll see at the title. I mean, I can see in the top left, I just call it brunch. As of now, I still have no idea what I'm calling it. So by the title of the video, I have already, you'll know what it is before I know what it is. But I'm still trying to brainstorm that. And yeah. Here I'm just adding a little decor. I was really torn between one thing I want to say with these tables, because I couldn't find matching tables, because as you see those square ones, I really liked those, and I wish there was a rectangular version of that, but we don't have it. And so I ended up getting rid of those long tables that I put earlier, the wooden table, and I just combined those squares and put them side by side instead. So I just made my own, just because I wanted it to be cohesive. And here I am using these brick columns, just because I felt that this could bring a little bit more texture. And I really liked how it looked, even though I didn't add any brick detailing. I was going to do some brick walls in the interior, but for some reason I just never occurred to me to add them. And I didn't really feel that it necessarily needed it. And yeah, one thing I did do when I look at these columns now, it's like a little too much for the lighting. So I did take them out and only did the ones on by the gate. And yeah, it wasn't too dark either, so it didn't really need that much lighting. And here I was struggling to, because I did want to bring that, the rainbow in just to show like for Pride, but it just looked too weird. I don't know, it just felt a little off considering everything around it so gray. I don't know, something was gonna add it. Then I did this and I added, this is the dance floor area, and added it to the floor. And then once I had it, placed in, something still wasn't, it was just too bright for floor. It just felt weird. So I ended up using that as the ceiling for the dance room area. And I liked that much way more. And then I also added some, string lights, or so they come from the ceiling. So it looks like my shoulder just cracked. I don't know if you heard it. I'm talking with my hands. But I put this rainbow pattern on the ceiling of the room, and then I use those string lights and to show how the light is coming down from the ceiling. So it looks like the light's falling down. I don't know if that makes sense, but you'll see a little bit of it in the video toward the end. But yeah, I'm much more happy with my decision of adding the lighting to the ceiling instead of having the floor be that pattern. So yeah. What else did I do? I also added, because I didn't want to make it too, that's the thing, because from the drag brunches that I've seen on videos, because like I said, I haven't been to one, so it's not really decorated as much. It's just, typical like party decoration. Nothing, is not, don't want to say in your face, but because it's not really, I don't like sound like those people, shoving down their ideologies, but whatever. I want to make it feel more realistic and not too over the top, because I just didn't want to make it to feel too, I guess, kid like, and didn't want to bring that bit of, what should I say, not, I guess, realism. I'm really at a loss for words right now. I can't think of what I'm trying to look for. But yeah, I just want to make it feel more, drag shows not always necessarily for just adults. I mean, there are shows that can be, but I wanted to make it feel very inviting and very, just like a family brunch. So they want to make it too like kids show looking, not Disney looking, but I'm not sure if you guys know what I'm trying to get at. Like, I did want it to feel a good blend between, I guess not classy either. I'm also very bad with finding words. I'm not as good at being very descriptive, which is something I didn't realize I was this bad at until I started doing voiceovers. Because I feel like I'm always at a loss for words and not knowing what words to choose. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else I do. Here I am just doing the bathrooms, and kept the bathrooms. I mean, pretty simple. I try to get a little creative with, not creative, but try to make a little more interesting here by putting the tile in. But I felt that it really didn't do much of a difference, and it was taking up more space if I put the wall in that one tile. So I ended up just keeping it as is. And then I believe I'm trying to remember what route I went with. I was in between making stalls my own and just doing the walls, or actually doing the bathroom stalls. And let's see what I went. Okay, I actually went with the bathroom stalls already made. And yeah. One thing I did do was I switched out the sink that I ended up putting here. I just put the sink, I don't know what pack is it, Growing Together or Parenthood? Not sure. But this one here, I always use it for public bathrooms. I know it just feels very much like a public bathroom kind of thing to me. And I ended up switching that one out for a sink with peacock on it. And I don't know why peacock became the theme for my build all of a sudden. I just feel like that would be a nice one to do, to add, I mean. So went ahead and did that. And then trying to remember what else I did. I'm not sure if I showed or decided to change the floor, the rainbow floor. Because I know I did that, but sometimes I change the designs off camera. I may have done that because the rainbow floor is still there. Yeah, and then here again, just adding, I wanted some separation with the bathrooms just so it is not too, because you know the light can obviously comes through it from the hallway. I wanted to create a little bit of a separation from that. And yeah, one thing that sucks about with lighting here, like you can't change the brightness unless you have the tool mod, and the tool mod, or at least the tool mod, because I use CurseForge for my mods just because it's easy for me to, you know, get rid of them if they are buggy or whatever. And I have not, at least the tool mod, from or on CurseForge. Oh, I did fix the rainbow, or show the rainbow on the ceiling. But the tool mod on CurseForge still is a little bit buggy. It makes my UI a little messed up, which is not that much of a deal because the house is still in place. You know, when you get that crash or bug. And yeah, so I end up using tool mod off camera just because I didn't want it to show like the buggy screen, or not the buggy screen, but UI, and just to fix the camera lighting or the lighting intensity and color. And that's one thing I wish we were able to do in the build mode, but you can only do that in live mode, which is kind of a little bit a nuisance to go in and out, from build to bring your sims there. So it was a little annoying, but with the tool mod, obviously you can do that easily. And yeah, here I am doing some detailing. I don't remember. Again, pretty simple. I did it, want to keep it realistic. You don't really see too much decorations. I mean, you just, with these with lounges in general, it's very, just the necessities of what you need. And you can later add things, decorations for whatever events are going on. But yeah, I wanted it to blend in. I feel that it was a nice blend because originally I was doing or leaning more into a modern kind of style before, but it wasn't working. Usually what I do before I build, or before I start my speed build, I build the shell first, and then once the shell is built, I will redo the shell on the lot. But this one actually came along really quickly. This was I don't know, it just I got the reference image of the Abbey in West Hollywood that I mentioned earlier, and I used it to create a similar floor plan, I guess. Not a floor plan, but shape of the building. And it came along, yeah, really easily. Luckily, it all worked out with the floor plan. Except for for example, the rainbow, how instead of 7 tiles, it was 8 tiles, which is nothing too crazy. I mean, like you saw, I made the green section 2 tiles, so it wasn't, that big of a deal, honestly. And nothing really was. It came along really great, which I'm very happy about, because I feel like lately it is very, or in general, honestly, it's hard for me to make the shell of the build. But then once I had the shell down, it's easy to decorate. And that's how I started. I didn't start building in The Sims, like my own homes and stuff, or buildings. until like about 2 years ago, probably was the first time I was actually building things. Because before then, I was just purely downloading from the gallery and then just doing my own interior work, interior design. And so I'm still learning how to do structure. So I'm definitely still in the phase where I am using or relying a lot on references. And references are helpful, but at the same time, I feel that the measurements don't translate well with the game. So that's sometimes tricky. But luckily, this one, I didn't have to change much really. And obviously having the video where Austin took us on to the drag branch, I was able to see the layout and such. So I already had an idea in mind of, okay, what was needed and what I want. I was going to add more tables and stuff because the drag branches, I don't know, I feel like from what I've seen, they feel crowded to me for some reason. I don't know, like if it's enough, I mean, it's enough space for the performers. They're doing their, what is that move called? Lake drops? Dead drops? I'm not really familiar with the terms. Yeah, I mean, they have space and they have the stage, at least but I feel like the floors, the spacing felt kind of tight, but then again, that could be the camera angle. But, so I decided not to add too many tables or seating. Just because there's not really many Sims on a lot anyway, and not everyone's gonna be, with the game, not everyone's gonna be even sitting down and how Sims game is, so wasn't really too worried about it. And plus I felt that I liked how it looked at the end because it's not too crowded, definitely more space. So yeah, liked how that turned out. And yeah, here I did a little bar section. I believe I did two bar areas, one in the front entrance of this lounge and then here by the down section. Just felt like, places where you can go get a drink. And because it's not really a food place. I was kind of contemplating whether to make this also a restaurant lot, but I couldn't find a place to put the chef station because that is a requirement for the restaurant. And I was thinking of using the second floor, but instead the second floor I just use it to make the this a high ceiling build. Except for the bathrooms. The bathrooms are the only thing that is a one floor high, but everything else I did it, double walls, so it's a high ceiling. And yeah, here I'm doing. Sometimes I do that, where all the things pop up just so I can find things. Because I feel like when I'm editing these, I'm just scrolling for not a while because I obviously am speeding this up right now. This is on ×4 speed. But I could be scrolling for a while and you're just watching me watching screen on one look and it one angle and I'm just scrolling for items. But that's one thing I feel about the build by category. When you search for things, it's kind of hard to look them up. Like for example, I was trying to find that what is it, that jar, not jar, but that glass container with the lemons. It's from, I don't know exactly what it is, but I just searched up lemons and it didn't even show up, so I had to find that on my own. But so I got distracted with the balloons. I don't think I kept those balloons. Yeah, because they look a little out of place. That's what I meant by too kid-like, didn't felt too, how do I explain? Okay, this may be a weird way to explain it, but I hope this makes sense. But when you get and what is it? On Pride Month, there are ads and it's little too, what I'm trying to say, they don't make it realistic. Not everyone's the way the stereotypes are, yes. And just I didn't want it to feel that, way, so hopefully it's good. hopefully you guys like the way I, showcase it again, because I've never been. So I was looking up a lot of drag brunches to get obviously references to what I need and stuff like that. And yeah, here I just did a little dressing room. Pretty big, honestly, for a dressing room. I feel like in movies when you see dressing rooms, they're always so small for some reason. Well, not always. I take that back because I'm thinking of with the movie with what is it? Oh, anyway, doesn't matter. They're not always that small. Now thinking about it, I take my point back. I redact it. But yeah, so I ended up making it. I think a good enough size. I honestly could have use some of this space to do the chef station, but I feel like having this as a lounge works best, especially because there is already a restaurant one over. So there is a restaurant in this world. But yeah, we're pretty much honestly done. Not done for the video. I still have about 9 minutes or so left until you guys watch the video tour, but we're done with this little area. My favorite area are things to build. I love the community kind of lots. I feel like, as you guys can see if you look at my videos, which I only have 14 right now, but if you look at my videos, majority are community lots. So I will get started on, I don't know if the next one will be, but the next few lots will be residential areas. But personally, I just love building community lots. Don't know what it is. They're very fun. But yeah, I really don't have much to say. I kept this dressing room very simple, vanity. I did want to bring in a TV here just for play music on the TV, but none of them really fit the vibe, and I did want a frame one, not an actual TV screen or monitor. But then I forgot about that, and I just worked on what else they would need. And here I got out a wardrobe rack and a suitcase for them to change outfits and stuff, and little lockers. I mean, I'm just explaining what you guys see. And yeah, I don't think I added, again, too much of basic dressing room, what you need just to get ready. Nothing too interesting, I guess. This is very simple. Yeah. And here I want to get in this mirror, just when as they're leaving, they can check up. Because the green door here is their entrance. Because like I said, that area, that raised flooring is going to be kind of act as their stage. So, and I ended up doing some curtains on the other side of the wall where the door is, just to make it a little more dramatic for the entrance. But yeah. What else? Oh, here I just did a little more makeup and then a little workstation in case they want to get some, while they're waiting for their performance or something. Yeah. What else did I do? I actually switched out I switched out the star because I was looking at the star and I was like, it felt a little off, but yeah, I did move that around. Here I'm adding just more clutter for the counter and adding little decorations and such. Yeah, I was gonna use that jar as a tip jar for here in the. I feel like the one thing I want to say about the olives, I feel like the olives are definitely huge when you look at the size of them compared to the size of those, because I was comparing it to the pineapple and banana, and the olives are those are big olives. Oh, this is the one. I always use that for some reason as a tip jar. It just feels like a tip and receipt kind of section, even though it's on I believe they're buttons. So, but to me, it just gives me a tip jar vibe. And yeah, another thing I had sized down was these, because the Q-tips are huge. I was using the mouse as a comparison. I feel like a lot of items are. I've noticed that where a lot of items are huge, like that that tissue box. Oh, here's the lemons. That tissue box. I always feel like that's a huge for some reason. I don't know why. It just feels big to me. But yeah, I say that a lot. Yeah. Trying to think what else I've done. Yeah. I said yeah again. That's pretty much it, I believe. Like I said, not many are here I'm saving because I had it once where, what build was it? It was when I was building the shopping plaza next door. It didn't save. Well, actually, it froze. You know, when it freezes, and I was really freaking out because I had to do that all over again. Luckily, it worked. I don't know if it works, but I do Control S and I just keep pressing or spamming it and hoping it works. But I don't know if it does anything. It just, eases my conscience, so I know I've tried. I tried to fix it. But yeah, so that was stressful. And so I keep that in mind. I wish there was an auto save thing where, like on a Word document, it'd say you last 5 minutes. Or last save 5 minutes. Like just automatic saves would be very helpful. If that was another thing I would add. I feel like every video I always have some comments to make to the developers of the game. Like, let me adjust my camera intensity and colors in the build. In the buy, I'm already stuttering on my I'm trying to speak to the developers and I can't say anything. That's one thing, not one thing, but at least in this build, my struggles, well, not really struggles, it's being dramatic, but was fixing the lighting, and I had something else. What was I talking about? Something about sizing? I don't remember. That's what I mean. It's not actual struggles. I would actually remember if it was a problem. But yeah. Right. I think, yeah, we're almost done. We just have one more room to go for. And it is the bar and check-in area. Oh, we're still not done with the rugs. I don't even know what rug I went with. I know I was struggling because I wanted something. I wasn't sure if I wanted it wet or not for that one. Interesting choice. Okay, I went for that one, I guess. And here I am, finally now, doing the little entrance way. Here I am with the peacocks. I don't know why. Oh, there you go. See on the right, the peacock right there. Don't know, for some reason I felt that it looked good and I wanted to add it around. And yeah, this is probably, I don't know, I was like, this is my favorite room, but I really like this. I'm really liking my builds lately, which is pretty great. Alright then, I'll leave it here. Thank you guys for watching. I know this one took a while because I had no idea what direction to take the lounge, but I appreciate you guys sticking to the end. I'm still trying to get better at my voiceovers. We'll see how long it takes me, but I'll see you guys next time. Enjoy the tour.